I can't get away. It's already so late. I don't have time to do anything. The plan from the very beginning was to do everything on Tuesday and beyond. I'm used to cramming. I'm tempted to try starting a new game now that I have a better idea of what I want the mod pack to be like. But I think I'll save that for when I get a Steam Deck. For now I'm gonna see how far I can get here to 100% completion. Let's get like a bow upgrade or something. Quiver upgrade. Oh, you know, I could try Trial of the Sword as well. I was gonna complete the Reju, all the Gerudo quests. Red Star's limit might be nice as well. We'll see if we can get both. Although I don't think we can. Oh. 350. I suppose that's pretty fine. Why not? I'll torture myself with Trial of the Sword before going to bed. That's like my idea of a fun time. I was supposed to eat that when I started, not before I start. Such a fool I am. pretty much gonna be carried entirely by our skills here, I feel. Ooh. That's pretty good too, although I would have liked more arrows. Pretty sure we got a piece of armor pretty much right away. That's good too. God damn it. There it is.
You can only use the first and second effect name of this card's once per turn. If this card is Link Summon Special Tuner from your extra... Wait, did they buff help? If this card is Link Summon Special Tuner from your extra deck in defense, with a level lower than or equal to the total original levels of monsters used as material. Like, we've gone through this exact same song and dance for years at this point. It took them, like, what, 2 years to ban Halka Fibrax? What did they have to do to finally get round to banning Halka Fibrax?
Alright, I figured out how to fix the game. First, we ban all the tuner monsters.
That's what we're gonna have to do again. We're back. It's same situation. Ban all the tuner monsters, and then finally, after they've gone through the reprint, after they've gone through the sales of the Megapins for Halka Fibrax Link 3, then in 2027 they can ban Halka Fibrax Link 3, and then guess what? In 2030 they're gonna make a Link 4 Halka Fibrax, and it's gonna do the exact same thing, except it's gonna summon an extra deck Synchro Tuner from your binder, and then we're gonna have to go through this exact thing, and then Mark the Link 4 Halka Fibrax review, and it's going to be...
Alright, I figured out how to fix the game. First, we ban all the tuner monsters.
You can only use the first and second effect name of this card's once per turn. If this card is Link Summon Special Tuner from your extra... Wait, did they buff help? This card is Link Special Tuner from your extra deck in defense, with a level lower than or equal to the total original levels of monsters used as material.
The spear
Like,
drop.
we've gone through this exact same song and dance.
Yeah, kite shield. That was a waste of 2 arrows. Dude, I have so many bows and no arrows. I feel like the pants was what I missed out on. Didn't mean to. Like to use the axe. does glow in the dark? I was gonna ask, this thing glows in the dark, right? Not this floor. Dude, the Wizrobe isn't fair. It's got too much HP. I think this is not only going to be fair, but necessary. So much of Master Trials isn't intended for the way the game currently is. Not Master Trial of the Sword.
Finding something. But your Pokemon coffers are a little fuller, and you feel so alive. Now, ZA doesn't put quite as much of an emphasis on catching as Arceus did. Mabel gives you a very long list of research tasks to do. Catching a whole bunch of different Pokemon and lots of each type is absolutely on the list. But this time it's not tied to story progression. You really just get rewards as your research level goes up. And I'm totally fine with that. This game is more about combat than catching, which is kind of cool. I like that both games kind of had their own thing. I just think it's a little silly how the game still wants you to catch a whole lot of Pokemon, but it doesn't give you something when you let them go, like in Arceus. That game made filling up your boxes worth doing. Now, filling out your research just clogs up your boxes until you get around to mass releasing everything you don't want. It's a bit of a shame. Now we come to the ZA Royale. As with Wild Zones and Rogue Mega Battles, as with the rest of the game, the new real-time combat system really shines here. It takes something that's been done a million times and condenses it down into this very pure and fast and exciting experience. Before you can fight in a promotion match to raise your rank, you've got to earn enough tickets through the Royale. The battle zones are filled with trainers, just packed with them. Your goal is to beat as many of them as you can. Speed is really your friend here, whereas in past games, too many trainers in a row could turn into an agonizing slog to me. Now, I can breeze through a dozen of them like it's nothing. I'm just getting warmed up here. And here's a case where the faster Pokemon switching feels particularly great. You can switch out your Pokemon and prepare for each battle on the fly without ever touching a menu. You can withdraw and send out your Pokemon at a moment's notice, whenever you want. In battle, out of battle, always shifting your strategy however you need. And you always know which Pokemon to send in first, since the other trainers have their Pokemon out at all times, just like you do. And if you want, you can even sneak up on them and strike their Pokemon unawares. Narratively, it does feel a little silly. I do not know how such a thing would ever be not only legal, but encouraged. But hey, gameplay-wise, it's perfect. Getting the leg up on them can obviously be very beneficial. You get like an extra second to do a move. Or you can even get a KO right off the bat. Though I will say, I don't like how often they take me off guard. The system feels a little bit wonky. Like I'm looking right at them. I'm looking them in the eye, and I'm walking up to them slowly. I'm challenging them in a very, very traditional kind of way. They don't even attack us, and yet somehow they get the jump on us, and we're like stunned for a couple of seconds when the battle starts. Could use some tweaking. Also worth noting, Assassin's Creed, this is not. Tell you that much. Boy, these NPCs are pretty stupid, aren't they? Maybe it would be too hard if they weren't, I don't know, yeah, they do tend to be laughably bad at spotting you, though. Making the Royale even more interesting, you can collect these challenge cards where fulfilling some quest gives you more tickets, closer to that promotion match. It can be really fun finding good cards and trying to complete the challenges before the end of the night. It's just another element to consider, another little bit of strategic fun to be had. It's the intensity of being like, the night is going to end in a couple of seconds and I just need to sneak up and one-shot one more Pokemon. And then additionally, you get medals for beating trainers and also all over the ground. More medals at the end of the night. And it does feel like to get a whole bunch of money for leaving a particularly huge pile of defeated trainers. But I do have a few quibbles with the ZA Royale, and they're similar to the ones I have. It's about establishing ideas, and then not quite seeing when you win a fight, but when you lose a fight, you lose. In theory, the whole thing is much funnier. This is made for a pretty decent risk and reward system. The very first night that you enter the Royale, pretty much during the tutorial, there's one extra trainer you don't have to fight with a super duper high level Pokemon. Almost impossible. Like a really
trying to save that for the Guardian.
This made me think that this was going to be a regular thing, that I would have to try to aim for really great rewards.
Also, the axe.
Too close to the sun, I'm going to end up
I couldn't
losing.
get it.
But no, not really. It's kind of a one-time thing. There's a little variation in the levels of these trainers, like the ones up on the roof, or like a little harder or something, but there were really no level spikes beyond that first one. And despite my weak, often uninvolved, and always poorly optimized team, I rarely, if ever, lost to a trainer in the Royale. So the risk and reward system is virtually non-existent, and it really seems like a waste, because I really did love that idea. And
then after a while, these trainers just stop getting stronger, and you start fighting the same ones so many times that it starts getting pretty grindy. Not as much in the main game, but definitely in the post-game. I really just don't see why we couldn't have gotten some, like, truly randomized trainers in addition to the regulars. Also, I fully admit this is probably a very silly game, but they advertised that the game would have you climbing up the ranks of the Royale. It's the whole point of the game. You gotta get from Z to A. That's why it's called Legend ZA. And weirdly enough, I was kind of looking forward to this being a big, overarching goal, something to work toward throughout the entire game. And when you start, the Z rank guy even has a name that starts with Z. Oh, that's cute. And then you fight the Y person. Name starts with Y. And then the X person. Name starts with X. And then you fight the W person. Doesn't even start with a W. And then after the V person, they fast track you all the way up to F, and you only have a handful of battles left. It's like you had a whole thing going. You had a whole shtick. What happened? I thought it was going to be like instead of fighting 8 big gym battles, you kind of spread it out across 26 slightly smaller battles, but no, you end up doing just about the same number of battles as usual. And again, I know it's silly, because that's not to say that I wish the game was sloggier. Because it can be a little sloggy, a little grindy. They probably did this so they could include more battles outside of the Royale. I don't know, it just kind of feels like it defeats the purpose. I wish they'd come up with a better way to balance everything and deliver on the premise. Overall, though, I do think the ZA Royale is a ton of fun. It's a really good idea. And it's what really cements the game as a game more about battling than catching. Arceus' thing was running around in open spaces for catching Pokemon. TA's thing is just fighting and fighting and fighting. And for the very first Pokemon game to use real-time combat, this is perfect. Okay, so there's something I want to say about this game that isn't necessarily a criticism, but it is something that I want to
Just a
point out
normal
because
feathered edge.
the real-time combat is crazy fun. I love how much it speeds up the experience and cuts back on the downtime. And, like pretty much all modern Pokemon games, ZA dramatically speeds up the process of raising Pokemon. Automatic XP share means that if you stick even the teeniest little baby on your team, it will pretty much match your other Pokemon. Without battling even one time, and you're also given ample XP cans. Like, I barely even tap into my stores. So you can pretty much fine-tune the levels of all your Pokemon all you want. And as established in Arceus, Pokemon don't evolve automatically. Manually evolve them in the menu when you're ready. I hate grinding. I hate wasting time. I don't have hundreds and hundreds of hours to play one game, yada yada yada. But I do have to admit, the less I need to manually up my Pokemon by having them fight, the less connection I have with them. Pokemon is really great at creating stories. You get to manually pick all of these members of your team, get really attached to them, and guide them to victory. Big victorious moments. And how fitting that Pokemon Legends ZA takes place in a modern city, because it perfectly reflects modern society. The more convenient life becomes, the less special, the more technology advances, the more we get to have all of our comforts right at our fingertips or delivered right to our door, the less happy we tend to be. I have instant access to every show and movie ever created right on a phone I keep in my pocket, and yet nothing will ever be as fun as when I had to get up early to watch my favorite and rush to the bathroom only during commercials. You know what I mean? Legends ZA is absolutely the most streamlined and convenient Pokemon game ever, and the battles are now blazingly fast. But I'm not gonna lie, there is some bit of magic that's lost. It's a lot harder for me to connect with my Pokemon this time. I streamed a lot of the game, most of the game really, and asked my viewers, and there was kind of a running gag where I wouldn't evolve a Pokemon unless it had a really intense battle. You know, like it came in clutch and saved the day. A big anime moment. Because I just couldn't stand the idea of putting something in my team and having it ready for evolution before I could even use it once. And man, even the most intense battles, some of the most important story battles, are just over so quickly. They're over in moments, simply due to the nature of the game's combat. It's just nothing really slowing things down anymore. You jump in,
Not having
boom,
to
bam,
act
bam,
really
done. This isn't
slows down
necessarily
your pace.
saying that I think everything should go back to the way it was. Pokemon has been around for so long that I think it's totally fine for it to change. It's kind of like the jump from Pikmin 1 to... It's one Pokemon. 19. Pikmin 4 is mega streamlined and eschews a lot of what made Pikmin 1 so special. You could totally argue that some of that original magic is gone, but this also allows Pikmin 4 to do totally new things, and also reach a bigger audience thanks to its better approachability. Streamlining Pokemon this much was probably the right move, and I'm really happy to have
Implying it wasn't streamlined already?
But it is worth noting how this affects my attachment to my Pokemon and the tendency for fun stories to organically materialize. I don't know how the Pokemon Company feels about this, like if this is on their radar at all, but I do think there are some things they could do that would help. Naturally, I don't think this is much of a hot take. I don't think there's one person on this planet who doesn't work at the Pokemon Company who would disagree with me. They really should give us the option to turn off Expo Share, or at least make it less.
It used to be optional. X and Y was the first game to do it, and it was optional there.
I just want more places to train my lower level Pokemon.
But for some reason, it
Wild
just
Pokemon in
isn't
this
the
game
case anymore.
give, like, no experience. Even fighting same level
I got
wild
this.
Pokemon is essentially worthless. Sure, catching gives a little more XP.
I don't.
Fighting trainers is really how you level up. Nearly all of the trainers that you will fight in this game will be in the ZA Royale, and those levels gradually rise, and eventually they stay capped in one place. Side quests offer lower level battles, but good luck finding these exactly when you need them, when your Pokemon is at the exact right level, because they don't scale with you in any way. It would help a lot if you could rematch whenever you wanted, and maybe you can even see what level their Pokemon are at a glance, like over their head or something. The best thing, though, would be giving us lower level battle zones at night, like you've always got access to a whole range of different levels. This would allow me to get a new Pokemon or two and spend at least a little time training them naturally. The ability to breed would have been nice too. I'm not gonna I don't even like train for perfect IVs or whatever. I just like to start with a nice, fresh little level 5. Catching something at level 50 and training it from there, and like the second you get it, it's already ready to evolve into its final form. Like, I don't know, feels a little silly to me. As it is, my main team remains pretty much the only Pokemon I built any attachment to. And even there, you find plenty of compromises. A bunch of Pokemon that grew up and were ready to evolve way too early. It's a little disappointing, but I don't know. But it is what it is. Once again, of course, I will not spoil anything, but I do want to mention the post-game.
Let's just go.
Briefly,
I'm wasting time.
Arceus had a huge post-game. If
Damn
you
it.
consider the post-game to be everything after you roll the credits, which I do. A bunch more stories.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what post-game means.
To get, and a whole final boss. I actually raised a whole second team to do it.
Although that line gets a bit murky, I
fun.
suppose, if you
CA
play a
is
game
another
like
story.
Zelda,
After you roll the credits, there's
where
really
straight up you're
much
not
to
allowed to do
beyond a
anything.
couple really
There's
basic
nothing
legendary quests
that's
and
allowed
some
to
more
happen
CA
beyond.
Royale stuff that, like I said earlier, it's pretty grindy. There isn't even much story stuff that happens. So technically, the game feels like it has less content than Arceus did, but I also don't know if I care too much.
Ah, yeah, there's
You
still
know,
the guaranteed
I
Falcon
think
Bow here at least.
considering the game's format, this might have been a perfect amount of content. You could definitely argue that more is always
What
better.
happened to my shirt?
$70 for the
I'm
day.
pretty sure
You
the
have a whole bunch of
box I
content.
had that
But
I got that
personally,
had
I
the
didn't really
sword was
find myself
supposed
missing
to have the
big
pants,
post-game
the
necessarily.
shirt.
It was fun to get like 100 hours or whatever out of Arceus, but I'm pretty happy with the 30 or so I got from this one. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with the game's multiplayer, but I do want to touch on it briefly. Ranked matches have you dropping into an arena with 3 other players, and you all just kind of wail on each other and try to rack up as many KOs as possible. You can bring 3 Pokemon, and if any of them get knocked out, you gotta take a little, like, respawn time. So there's a strategic element to it. Switching around your Pokemon, trying not to let any of them get knocked out. There are even little power-ups you can get, which is cool. I am not a good Pokemon player, if that's not already obvious. Like I mentioned earlier, I do not optimize my team well. I'm the quintessential casual Pokemon fan. There is no reality, no timeline where I will do well in a competitive in a Pokemon. But you do have to suck. This is stupid fun. Just incredibly incredibly fun. Even if I do not normally do well,
Man,
even if I've only
I
come
had
out
so
on
much
top
better
one
food.
single time, which was probably more luck than anything, no, definitely more luck than anything else. And even if the meta is predictably dominated
I can
by
waste
like
my arrows.
3
I have
Pokemon, which is always
50.
really annoying, the real-time element at least gives me kind of, sort of, a chance. And the format itself, everyone just running around and going ham on each other, I don't know, it's pretty much the only competitive online Pokemon I could ever
There's
see
protection.
myself
Now ready to
engaging
roll.
with. Just like the rest of the game, it's snappy and thrilling and more than a little wacky. And finally, let's talk communication. Pokemon games are funny. How they look and run is pretty all over the place. Let's Go ran well and looked fine. Sword and Shield ran okay. Looked both great and terrible at different points. Legends Arceus ran pretty well and looked pretty alright. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl looked bad to okay and ran fine. And then Scarlet and Violet ran and looked terrible. Absolute worst in both categories. Box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. And now we have Legends ZA. I played on Switch 2, and thanks to the extra horsepower, we finally have a Pokemon game that we can say actually runs very, very well. Considering how much some of the other games struggled, I wondered if they would somehow find a way to mess this one up too. But no, performance is literally perfect. Buttery smooth 60 FPS frame rate at essentially all times. I know it's not like impressive, but it is, at least a good thing. And I was surprised to learn that the native resolution isn't really that high at all, because thanks to DLSS upscaling, the image is incredibly sharp. Even on a big 4K display, it looks great. It's actually really encouraging to see the technology working so well, so much better than I ever expected. And fortunately, the Switch 2 edition doesn't just run better, but it also includes much sharper textures and improved lighting, which I feel makes a pretty big difference based on the footage I've seen of the Switch version. Unfortunately, however, the visual design itself is plenty of elements that stick out like a sore thumb. The biggest problem is that the whole game takes place in one city. You spend most of your time running around these buildings. So I kind of feel like making the buildings and the NPCs nice could have been a higher priority. Could be they ran out of time, could be they had to scale the game way back so it would run on the original Switch, but whatever the case, there is no good excuse. You look at other similar games, even open world games, it was definitely possible to do a heck of a lot better than this. Windows and balconies are usually just flat textures pasted onto the sides of buildings without much in the way of individual character or flair. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a faraway asset, some like background element, but this is like every building, everywhere, all around you, all the time. When I'm running around a bunch, I guess I don't tend to notice as much. I kind of get used to it or whatever. Like, at a glance, it all looks okay, so maybe it's easier to ignore than it could be than some of, like, the bad elements from some of the other games. It only looks like bad when I really stop to look at it, but
In
I
even
do
Tide
stop to
Island,
look at
you
things
can
from
use
time to
champion's
time.
abilities. I'm
It
pretty
is,
sure of that.
entirely impossible to excuse. The marketing for this game, and I guess even the game itself, kind of describes Lumios as this big, kind of futuristic city. It's like super modern, it's cutting edge, and yet, like, I'm not seeing that. I'm just not seeing that anywhere. And they use this like hologram force field technology to erect these barriers to create battle zones and wild zones. But like, they could have done a lot more with that. They could have done so much more with this technology. They could have used it to create decorations, signs, just like overall flair. They could have put it all over the place. They could have made this look like a really modern, futuristic city. Kind of didn't. It looks like just kind of city. This is a nice little city. And then it's also weird to set a game in a big city that is made of basically nothing but buildings and not even allow you to go into all that many of the buildings. There are like a few indoor spaces, but really not that much. And man, those NPCs. Like, it's bad enough that they don't really do much, but like, more of them need to at least be walking around. Some of them do. That's the thing. The game knows how to have its NPCs walk around. That animation is programmed into the game. But like 99% of them just standing. Literally just standing completely still. And it's genuinely unnerving. It's like a weird horror movie. You'll turn a corner and see literally dozens of people without a single one of them an inch. And adding another layer of bizarreness is the pop-in. But when I say pop-in, I also mean pop out. Like, some NPCs will pop in when you get close enough, but then others will pop out when you get close enough. Like, what is this? Ain't gonna lie, don't look very good. If there's one visual element of the game that actually does look kind of distractingly bad, it's probably this. So yeah, it's a rather uneven visual experience. I still think it looks loads better than Scarlet Violet, at the very least, but of course, that's not saying too much, is it? Like, most of the time, it's hard to say that it looks bad.
Whew,
Bad.
yeah.
Scarlet Violet did look bad, like actually bad. This one looks plain.
That delay needs to be
Just like
faster so you
kind of
you actually
I
get
do think
punished
Lumio starts to feel a
for
little nicer
trying to
once it
go
has
off
some
of
time to
instinct
explore it a bit. There are some nice little park areas, and there's the canal.
rather than
You know, it's not
actual
like
timing.
just one big copy-pasted block of buildings. But yeah, it really could use some more in the way of, like, I don't know, I guess anything. Like landmarks, just some more unique areas, some more flair, some, like, stuff on the individual. Even if you're gonna copy-paste stuff, just, like, put, like, 10 elements that you put on the buildings. And just like anything, man. As it is, it's pleasant enough, but plain. Just humongously plain.
Did anyone
I'll
ever get a
completely admit
kite
I would
shield on their
probably
first
feel
playthrough of
differently
the
if I
game?
were playing the Switch 1
I
version. I
never
do think
did.
the better performance on Switch helps to smooth the whole thing over. Again, it absolutely does not excuse the visuals, nothing does, but it does make them a whole lot easier to deal with. It's probably Stockholm Syndrome. I should have higher standards than this, but like I can't deny, there is something nice about playing a Pokemon game that at the very least feels really well, looks really nice and sharp. Like it's kind of surreal. There is a novelty to it, even though they're totally just big. In the game does have some stuff going for it in the visual department. The few indoor areas that we have really do look quite nice. I have to say, like, really no complaints here. And, you know, the animations really haven't been Sword and Shield in particular really disappointed me in the animation department. It was so weird seeing Pokemon rendered in full 3D, working with all the console power, and still standing rooted in place, awkwardly shooting bites at each other. And the story stuff was so cheaply animated. It was almost nothing but recycled animations and cutaways to avoid animation entirely. But ZA is a dramatic improvement on both fronts. Pokemon are decently expressive, and their moves look pretty good too. I completely admit that it's possible the animations themselves haven't really changed that much at all, and yet it looks infinitely better now that they are actually moving around and acting like animals and interacting with each other. It feels so much more natural to watch them fight. It's still not like watching that anime or anything, but I don't know if it ever will be. There's only so much you can do with a format like this, and I think they did a pretty good job on this front. Oh, and then the Rogue Megas, like I mentioned earlier, they come with loads of unique animations, and a lot of them look genuinely good. Not even like Stockholm Syndrome good, but like actually pretty good. And then the character animations really aren't too bad either. There are far more cutscenes using actual bespoke animations than probably any other mainline Pokemon. And still nothing to write home about, but it does give these characters a lot more personality, and it gives the story a bit more dramatic weight. Character designs are also impeccable, as expected. You know, Pokemon struggles and even outright fails in a lot of areas, but its characters, no, they're superb. Even if the lack of voice acting has never hurt a Pokemon game more than this. I'm not necessarily of the opinion that every single game needs voice acting, and I'm actually pretty picky about performances, so I'll usually take no voice acting over distracting voice acting any day. But if you're not going to include it, you need to present your game in a way that makes up for it. You know, little grunts and and hays and stuff like that. Or, like, okay, no voice acting, then turn the ding-dang music up. Throw in some sound effects. Some of these cutscenes are like dead silent. Even super dramatic parts will have really, really low music and very few sound effects. And it's even worse when
Maybe
the
Ancient
characters
Curious
are
is gonna be
moving
in one
their
of these.
mouths, but nothing is coming out. Like, just don't even bother with the mouths, man.
That's even better.
Really weird. Want to end the presentation section on another plus, though. How about that music? Ooh, boy. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, isn't it? There's some real bangers in there. Pokemon Legends CA is not a AAA game. And it's not trying to be a AAA game. It's not trying to be a grand adventure on par with the mainline games. It tells a much smaller story in a much smaller space than usual. It doesn't offer nearly as many individual activities as it could, mostly relying on a handful of cycle. And there isn't necessarily anything wrong with that. Really, the issue is this very prevalent idea that since Pokemon makes so much money, they should feel obligated to put that money into making these games bigger and better.
They
you
should?
could argue that that's what should happen. That's what would be fair. Like, you're not really wrong, but you could also probably argue that Pokemon isn't necessarily obligated to do. There's nothing inherently wrong with a medium-sized game, a double-A game, but then the problem with that is, even if you are making a double-A game, it's pretty tacky to cheap out on it so much, especially if you're charging next-gen prices for it. It does feel pretty darn disappointing to see the game lacking in some key areas when it costs just as much as any other game. At the very least, they could have made it look just a bit more interesting. I think that would have made a massive difference. Just add some extra detail to the city. Like, keep all of the content and everything exactly the same. Just make the city look a little bit better. I think that was a really big sticking point. Certainly doesn't help that we recently learned
Guardian's
from the
time.
Giga League that the budget for the game was positively microscopic, all things considered. Spending even just a couple $1 million or even hundreds of thousands of bucks to polish up just a little bit more, that'd have been too much to consider. Is saving every single penny that important when your game is going to literally make $1 billion? So, summing it up is tough, because the game's budget, price, and what it could have been and should have been are technically outside elements. In a perfect world, I could just look at a game and judge it for what it is. Judge it by how fun it is to play, how much you enjoy. In the long run, that is what matters. Years from now, someone looking up a review of this game is not going to care about the budget and the price. And honestly, I don't want every single review for every single Switch 2 game to boil down to, is it worth it for the price, just because they started charging. But it is also true that right now, that is a valid conversation to have. It is something that people are interested in hearing about. Ultimately, the value this game offers is going to depend entirely on the person. I know, it sounds like a total cop-out answer. It keeps coming up again and again, but it's absolutely true. If you think this game is a slap in the face, something that's not even almost worth the asking price, and you're never ever going to touch it, that's valid. You are not wrong. And if you think this is the most fun Pokemon you've ever played in years, maybe even ever, something you can easily get tons and
I'm all for games being pricier, but not for being fucking
it can be both.
lamer.
In ways, Pokemon Legends ZA is a cheap cash grab. A game that is surprisingly small and looks shockingly plain for no good reason other than greed. To save a couple pennies. And in
Yeah.
other ways, it's the greatest leap the series has ever taken. Like that's what's so funny. We get so lost in the price and budget conversation that it's really easy to overlook that this game is actually exactly what a lot of us have been waiting for. Game Freak was stuck in the Stone Age for so long, making big 3D games that mechanically were barely different from their counterparts on the second Game Boy. We have been begging Pokemon to evolve as a series, and by golly, this is it! They may have cheaped out on the presentation, but they didn't really cheap out on this new combat system. They kind of nailed it. Sure, it's got room to grow, but it's really great. They spent a bunch of work revamping how combat itself works, and the end result is a dramatic change to the formula. Fun on a whole new level. That's why it's so complicated. That's why the whole conversation is just such a mess, and that's why it really does just depend on the person. Me, personally, trying to set aside all of those outside elements for a moment, I can say that I really enjoyed the heck out of the game. This new combat system wrapped up in a fun and kind of different story, all the silliness with the mega evolutions and the rogue battles. It was definitely worth playing, and I know I'm gonna sound like a total fanboy for saying this. Like, I know how this sounds, but if I'm totally honest, I kind of the smaller scope. I didn't like paying that much for it, but like I said, medium-sized game ain't necessarily a bad thing. The game lacks a lot of the big features that you find in the other mainline games. I'm actually kind of okay with it. Usually it's frustrating how the Pokemon Company takes these tiny little incremental steps, introducing new mechanics and ideas very slowly across many games. And yet this time, the new combat system is such a huge change that I'm a little bit glad I've got a whole game that focuses primarily on just that. Like, I'm imagining if instead of ZA and Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, we had just gotten one massive new Pokemon game with a huge open world and real-time combat and real-time catching and everything. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, obviously that would have been great. Like, they could just do one game per generation and that would probably work out. But in a way, I feel like it might have felt slightly overwhelming. Like, that's a really big change all at once. And that would also just be one single story instead of a collection of building stories. Sure, incremental advancements across many games that we have to purchase all of, certainly beneficial for Pokemon, certainly convenient to give us so many games to buy. Again, trust me, I know how this sounds. I'm trying to be honest here. There is a little part of me that's happy to explore each idea thoroughly, knowing that they're gradually building the foundation for future games, which could be much bigger and better. And I know that, like, we keep saying that, okay, so when does the future happen? But I feel like it is. I really do feel like it is. I think we're already seeing these ideas kind of accumulate and add on top of each other. Maybe it's that Stockholm Syndrome talking again, but DA makes me more excited than ever for either Gen 10 or just the next Legends game. That said, though, even if I do think this is the most fun Pokemon has been in ages, even if I can say I largely enjoyed my time with it, I also think you probably aren't missing. The real-time combat is a game changer, but since it's a relatively small showcase that doesn't offer much else, you can probably safely let this one pass you by and just wait for the idea to be explored more fully and integrated into a more full package, presumably, in the next game. And we conclude this review by addressing a big question. Which ZA or Arceus? Well, I think in terms of pure gameplay fun factor, ZA probably wins. That's how much I love the real time. But I think Arceus offered a more complete experience overall. The story was more fleshed out, the characters were more likable, catching and researching provided endless fun. The presentation wasn't mind-blowing, but it also didn't feel cheap. And when it released, it represented the biggest leap Pokemon had ever taken, which was a really big deal. Like, it was the first game to really break that ice. So yeah, I think I can say I enjoyed Arceus more. It was more of a whole video game, where ZA feels a little bit like a short story and a glorified tech demo for the new combat system. I enjoyed my time with it a whole lot, though I wouldn't be
A
surprised
tech
if
demo
down the line
shouldn't
it
cost
ends up being one of the more
$100.
forgettable entries
You can
in the
agree
series.
about that.
So that's my review, and now you know what to do. Get on down to them comments and get yelling. About what? I don't know. Who can Also, I want to give a quick shout out to my sweet boy, my precious boy. Boys Club forever!
Yeah, I remember. There was a secret on the other floor. But I already missed it. It's already too late. Now for the third level. Fuck. Oh, that's it. The middle trial is where things get really whacked up. Now it's just a durability upgrade for the last one. Oh, it's always so weird. To not have a speed boost. Time for the grand finale. From a test of power to a test of wisdom, and now our courage shall be tested. It's a fan interpretation of what the three trials represent, and I quite like it. I subscribe to it. Shit. Since the bombs are inconvenient, we do have to. Also, these are normal ass valves. I think that's pretty funny. Should I let that guy shoot for a little? Gotta grab everything we can. I did not know that could happen. These aren't normal ass valves. Yeah, that definitely makes these a lot harder. Point of the first few trials is just to set you up because the later trials aren't gonna have a lot of weapons in them. In a sense, it's a challenge on your capacity and your capability to conserve. What the fuck? Oh god, it's the water. Or the rest of the enemies. Very nice. Tell me that's the pants over there. Forgot I can still headshot them and it's a one-shot. I'll take it. For the rest of the weapons, I know there's a club. Arrow. Club's missing. We're wasting time. Let's just go, I guess. And then immediately after this, you're placed into a lava place. no! Haven't they even feel it when I holler them like when I giddy up them like that? Should be a resting point now. Nope, that's a style Nox. If I had the Moblins Club. Oh, that wasn't very fair. There it is. Are those truffles? And most of our wooden stuff's gonna be useless now. Ooh. Oh, I don't have any rusty weapons. I was gonna say, wait, I can use this guy to heal up my rusty weapons. Oh, guess you just die then. Oh, there's a rusty weapon over there. Fuck. Shit. Why do you go so fast? Fuck me. I could just burn them. I think the payoff is worth it. Oh wow, what the fuck? These are the big durability versions. Let's fucking go. These are gonna be vital. I believe an a fire talus should be. Yep. Ooh, a feathered edge. Would have been useful to get earlier, but I have it now. From stormy weather to fiery lavas, and now we're going somewhere really cold. Can't be good for our health. Ooh. Now we just have all the best stuff. That's not ideal. If I had the fire, I do have a fire sword. Gonna have to live off of that for a bit, because there's no way I'm wasting my attack buff for some for some measly cold resistance. I just realized the cold weather isn't going to damage us or anything, so... It just means we're not allowed to use any of our powerful attacks. May as well start refreshing this now. There'll be points where it's vital for me to have the book's protection. Another feather edge. I should be on the lookout for chests. There are going to be chests with more ancient arrows. And those are going to be vital if I wanna be victorious. Made me wish I carried some wood with me. Oh wait, we have fire bombs. Yes. And I am full on weapons. I just realized there was never a desert trial. We never had to fight a Morduga, which I think is a bit of a crying shame. damage. Damn it. I'm just gonna assume the rest are like that. And that's just an updraft. Time's a wasting. Nope. Sure. Ooh, a savage Lionel spear. What the fuck? And a savage Lionel crusher. Is there a savage Lionel sword? We're past the point of needing utility weapons. We're just gonna use our actual weapons as utilities as well. bomb barrels. Dude. What the fuck? Okay, the rest of the stage is just a joke now. The Hylian shield can block up to 50 of those. The next one I think is the last. Yep. Who else is left? Oh, there. Woo! Not gonna lie, the middle trial was the worst. The first trial was plenty challenging. It was just the Hinox with its absurd HP pool and the courtesy of Dark Army Resurrection that made it unfair. This last one, I believe I would have been just fine even without my champion abilities. Ah, true power is ours. For the power at all times, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's test it out, shall we? I can go back to being fast all the time now. It was a bloody moon day. That mean the blood moons? Does that mean everyone's revived? Check it out, infinite damage. As long as we just use that. Ascending world scale coming right up. Now we really don't need the drill shaft anymore. I mean, it'd still be nice to be able to mine easily, but the boulder breaker will suffice. I wanna try getting bow skill level 3. objectively the best sword now. Yeah, I could get a Savage Lionel weapon, and there is the Ancient Scimitar +7, which is 48. But like, the sheer convenience of this weapon, you know? It is a grind, but I'm not sleepy. Not that shield surfing is slow, it's just compared to our max speed. Boomerang, a goaded weapon. Oh, the ancient boulder breaker isn't. Man, I kind of want it.
Ah.
Now ready to roll.
It is my pleasure.
Dude, I'm not getting any souls. Oh, I can buy from Kilton. I just remembered. That is a thing I can do. I definitely have far more than enough by now, I think. We can start the quest to get medallions. Ooh, the guts are worth a lot. Best part about Mon is that we don't lose them unlike rupees. The spring-loaded hammer could be really funny, considering how much poise everyone has. Having something that can smack people around could be funny. Can't believe the rest of them don't follow the same pricing. This should be $2.49 and $4.99, $7.49 and $99. I guess the monster extract is 15. Fuck me. I really like Kilton as a character. I relate to him a lot. He's a person with an interest on something others might consider strange and unhealthy. But he does healthy things with it. Like in the sequel, he uses his obsession to create some nice looking lifelike art pieces. And then here, his research contributes a lot to society, I'd say, or at the very least to us.
Daruk's protection is now ready to roll.
Rivali scale is now ready.
Autosave. Alright, level 2. May as well. I guess something fun I can do is sell some of my excess hearts once it goes to that point for money at the Hateno guy. Jesus. Damn. This one's still pretty slow, but it is a lot more usable.
Urbosa Fury is ready.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Neva's grace is ready.
I had archery skills turned off for the longest time because I thought they conflicted. But it seems they don't. That's awesome. fire so fast. Love it. I increased all the boss's health by 50. I want to see how it feels. Silvaruta. Ah, great. The Divine Beast is being a bitch again. Ah, I can see how with the charge attacks, as well as all the increased durability, why the ridiculous HP increase might have been thought to be necessary, but considering I'm not playing with those durability increases,
It is my pleasure.
That's twice the amount of health, alright.
Do you recall the time we went off to defeat that monster together?
The Lionel.
The Lionel of Ploymus Mountain was terrorizing us all. But then you came along. Does any of that sound familiar?
I came along and made things worse.